Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are FC.
3 All-Stars from last year are currently on the Royals disabled list. A 4th All-Star missed over a month. The offense has yet to hit its stride, and because of injuries and struggles, 2 members of the opening day bullpen have been summoned to the starting rotation. And yet the Royals are still 3 games above 500 and hanging in there. The final game before a much-needed break is next. Royals baseball on a hot day in Kansas City, and with a victory today, the Royals can take 3 out of 4 from the Seattle Mariners. Royals baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Hi everyone, welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Hudler. I'm Ryan Lefebvre. Joel Goldberg and Jeff Montgomery are coming up. Well, if you consider all that, Hud, it's pretty remarkable. Even with the high standard that the Royals and their fans have right now, it's pretty remarkable that the Royals are still above water.
That's right. They are reigning world champions, Ryan. And so there comes a swagger with that and an expectation that these players think of themselves in a high regard. They should, but they're going to have to put it together. And I think they're looking forward to the second half for sure.
All right, let's sum up the first half by the numbers. Our Toyota League leaders. Now, the Royals aren't scoring like they need to, and yet they're getting hits. They're second in the league in batting average.
Yes, and this is impressive for a team who's lost 3 of their star players. Look, they're able to pick it up. The rookies are doing a great job.
ERA, even with all the problems with the starting rotation, is still in the top 6 in the AL.
Yeah, not too shabby. Now, sure, they're not eating up innings like Ned wishes they would, but look, they're doing fine.
And defense. No surprise here. Best in the American League as far as defensive runs saved go.
And believe me, this is what many Royals fans come to the K to watch. Look at this. Unbelievable action from everywhere, all across the diamond. Especially that guy has every reason to smile.
And big plays, one player after another that weren't in the starting lineup, or in the case of Dylan G, in the starting rotation when the season began. Royals today against the Seattle Mariners. He's had a great deal of success this year as a reliever with an ERA under 3 in 13 games. He has not hit his stride yet as a starter, but if we really break him down and look at our Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard, HUD, he's pitching very well going to an important start today.
It is a very important start, Ryan, but look, he can look at this as his one and only start the rest of the year. Now, however, I'm sure they'll let him in there more often, but this is the sensitivity and the urgency he has today. Go ahead and get him, give him 85, 90 pitches and shut them down.
When we come back, Joe Goldberg will talk about Mike Montgomery, who will oppose Dylan Gee today. Mike Montgomery, once a top prospect in the Royals farm system.
Final game before the All-Star break, and the Royals will see an old friend this afternoon. Joel Goldberg down by the Royals dugout, and back a number of years ago, the Royals had all those great lefties, Mike Montgomery, John Lamb, and Danny Duffy. Lamb and Montgomery were supposed to be the two stars, but it is Duffy that has become the best pitcher of the group. As for Montgomery, traded to Tampa Bay in that Shields Davis trade, and then over to Seattle before 2015. And he's been great in the bullpen, not so much though in the rotation, but last year in April, a complete game against the Royals. He had back-to-back complete games at the end of June, and since then, his last 10 as a starter, an ERA of 7.49, but he gets his first start of the year. Salvy and company headed to the All-Star break. We talk about it next. how times have changed. 4th straight year that the Royals will send at least 3 All-Stars to the Midsummer Classic. Salvador Perez is the 2nd ever Royal to have the most votes in the fan voting. George Brett did it in 1981, and then Hosmer's first All-Star game, Herrera his 2nd. Wade Davis was a selection but hurt, unable to go. And Ned Yost just as excited as the players.
To be able to go to the All-Star game and experience it, this will be my 6th one. And I love it. I enjoy it. You know, I really do. And the cool thing about it is it's my family gets to go. My kids get to go. They love it. But my staff, their families and kids get to go too. So it's a wonderful, wonderful time to be able to go and experience that with, you know, the best coaching staff in all of baseball, as far as I'm concerned, is going to be a blast.
But first order of business, wrap up the first half. It's been less of a merry-go-round and more of a roller coaster. They try to finish on a high note next.
Royals baseball is brought to you by the Missouri Lottery. Every ticket you play gives back to schools across Missouri, so play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. By Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by your Midwest Ford dealers. Visit your MidwestFordDealers.com. That's what the grass at Liberty Memorial and the front of Union Station looks like without 800,000 fans.
Sure would like to see it with the fans again, though.
91 degrees. Now that's the temperature. The heat index is well above 100. So a hot one leading into the All-Star break, and the Royals have a chance to take 3 out of 4 from the Seattle Mariners. And just moments ago, the Royals received their All-Star jerseys with the colors of the host team, the San Diego Padres. Ned Yost, Kelvin Herrera, Wade Davis, who's on the disabled list, Eric Hosmer, who will be a starter, and Salvador Perez, another starter for the Royals. So they will head out to San Diego along with the Royals coaching staff. Home Run Derby tomorrow, and the game on Tuesday on Fox. So Dillon Gee gets the start. He'll be making his 5th start of the year. Very few Mariners have any experience against Dillon Gee. He only has 1 relief outing against them in his career, and that was back on April the 30th, and he only went 3 innings. So usually that's advantage pitcher, at least in the early innings.
Well, this is the one opportunity that Dillon Gee's getting here before the second half of the season starts to impress manager Ned Yost and Dave Island. Hopefully he can get through this order here and throw his allotted pitches and keep them scoreless.
So far the Mariners have hit just 2 home runs in this series, and that's important because that's a big part of their offense. The Mariners have the 2nd most home runs in the major leagues, 130, trailing only the Baltimore Orioles.
The Royals defense sponsored by Ford. Drew Butera, he's been an admirable fill-in for Salvador Perez. He's done a great job, not just with putting the fingers down, the right ones, also throwing runners out. He's got a good arm, but the Seattle Mariners, it's rare and far and few in between when they steal a base with all that power.
Drew Butera behind the plate means that Salvador Perez will be the designated hitter today, and Ned Yost has moved around some pieces in his batting order, and we'll show you that in the bottom of the 1st. Here's Ketel Marte, who has been all over the Mariners batting order in this series, and Dillon Gee is in with a strike. Breaking ball is down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike on the switch hitting shortstop, Ketel Marte. We talked about yesterday, he's been a tough out in this series. Changeup, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, that's the equalizer right there for Gee. He's going to have to mix in his secondary pitches, but he starts it out with a fastball. Most every starting pitcher, outside of just a very few, will use the fastball more than any other pitch to set up those secondary pitches. And he went back-to-back changeups there. Here's his pitch breakdown. Fastball. Now he's not overpowering. He's around 90, 91 miles an hour on the average, but it's good enough and effective enough to mix in the slider, curve, and change to be effective.
2-2.
Quick tempo is always important, especially on hot days, so your defense doesn't have to stand around out there and wait for you in between pitches.
Base hit left field, and Marte, as we were talking about him yesterday, just has a really good feel as a young player for his skill set. We have seen him overswing maybe once in this entire series. Did a good job of putting the ball in play with 2 strikes.
Yeah, I liked him from the very first time we saw him earlier in the season, but this year this time around now, 3 months later, he's even more polished, more confident, you can tell.
And now Seth Smith. Royals overshift to the right against Smith. No balls and 1 strike. Mariners, while they're 2nd in the major leagues in home runs as a team, they've really balanced out their home runs. Seth Smith is one of 7 players with 10 or more home runs. That's the most of any team in the major leagues, so they don't rely on just a few guys for their power. 0-2 on Smith.
The offense isn't much of an issue for the Mariners. It's the starting pitching and some of their injuries that have occurred in their defense that's not been the best, but you know, they're 500 today, and hopefully the Royals will put them under 500 going into the break. Morales over there at first base, no problem. Wherever Ned puts him defensively, he hasn't erred over there at first base all last year, and then it starts this year. In right field, he's looked pretty good too. Outside of 1 play, he's been really good. Soft hands, hard worker.
Seattle, with all that power, doesn't run much. They have the second fewest stolen bases in the league. Marte has 8, but he's been thrown out 5 times. 1 and 2 on Smith.
G doesn't want to be too concerned with Marte over there at first base. Forget about him. Let Drew Butera get the ball home. Concentrate on your location to these hitters here. 2, 3, 4, and 5 are all dangerous. And 6, Adam Lind, not too shabby either.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Smith was one of the bigger outs late in the game yesterday in what was a 1-run game in the 7th inning against Luke Hochevar with 2 on, 2 out. Hochevar struck him out to end the top of the 7th inning. Smith had 2 strikeouts yesterday. On the ground to Merrifield, out at second, and no chance for a double play. So 1 down for Robinson Cano. So let's take a look at where the Royals are in the standings with 1 game to go before the All-Star break. And the Royals, comparing the last 2 playoff teams, last year the Royals were hot going into the break. They won 7 of their last 8. 2 years ago the Royals lost 3 of 4 going into the break, and then remember they lost 4 straight after the break and were 8 games behind the Tigers 4 games after the All-Star break. And when the season was over, they had trimmed that margin to 1 game leading up to that unforgettable wild card game.
Right, and I think that's important for us to look back on. History is a huge part of this game, but to be able to look back on that for fans that might be panicking a little bit here with all these games remaining, look, anything's possible.
1-1 on Robinson Cano.
That play that the Royals just made that out on Seth Smith, we've seen Jerschley in double play position when a situation comes to really pull Merrifield way over in the hole. So any ball to Escobar's left going to be tough for Merrifield to get to second base, but it worked out there. That would have been a base hit by Seth Smith all the way, and they would have had a nice little rally going had Jerschley not pulled him over. Watch this. See, Merrifield, back in the day before the shifting started, that would have been an easy base hit because guys are always shortening up, they're staying close to the bag, typical double play form. But Jersch takes chances out there, and that's what you do with the shift. That worked.
Cano back to G again. They'll go for the lead runner, and Dylan G throws it into center field. Smith stumbled around second base, so Paulo Orlando took a shot at throwing him out. Dylan G may have rushed that play, Hud, hoping for a double play. I don't know if that ground ball was worth 2.
No, it's worth the lead runner though. Retirement, you got to get your feet set. He did, but his body was leaning, his momentum was leaning. He wasn't quite convicted on making a good, accurate, for sure out throw. I mean, that was an easy whiff. Now, if he can, he'd like to pick himself up now by getting Cruz to hit into his 12th ground ball double play. That's what he wants. Pick himself up here.
Breaking ball for strike 1 to Cruz. He hit his 23rd home run of the year in game 1 of the series. He is 3rd in the league in that category. 8th in the league with 58 runs driven in.
Has that ball come down yet?
Into the corner. And that was home run distance and just missed. No balls, 2 strikes. Well, there aren't many balls that go upstairs like the one Cruz hit on Thursday night.
I have never seen one.
Foul balls or home runs eventually come bouncing down the stairs, but it is home run up the stairs just to the right of the Royals Hall of Fame.
He got all of it. It was just a get me over curveball from Joaquin Soria. Two strikes, get him to chase, try to pull one. Roll him up. Oh,
nailed him. Cruz is not happy. And in a moment, he will be thinking rationally and realize that Dylan G did not want to do that. An 0-2 pitch. And that loads the bases for Kyle Seager, who is the Mariners' hottest hitter at the moment.
No, he already got himself in trouble with that error. Now he picks out the elbow pad. 0-2, trying to come inside to knock him off the plate. Cruz says, "Really? Why'd you hit me there?" Well, sometimes they get away. Seager is grounded into 9 double plays. It's exactly what Dylan G wants. Get out of this thing here with no damage.
Changeup at the knees over the outside. Seager's done well with the bases loaded in his career. Yesterday, with 2 on and 2 out and down in the count 0-2, he hit a 3-run home run against Volquez. And now a ground ball base hit into right field. The Mariners will get 2 runs on Kyle Seager's single, so he has a 13-game hitting streak, the longest current streak in the major leagues, and Seattle takes a 2-0 lead.
First inning hasn't gone exactly the way Dylan G has wanted, so Dave Island's going to come out and take a visit. Seager going good, bases loaded. He threaded the needle over there between Morales and Merrifield. Ball had eyes on it, found the hole.
And now a 2 on, still only 1 out. He'll get left-hand hitting Adam Lind. Lind, another one of those 7 Mariners hitters with 10 or more home runs. Fastball over the outside for strike 1. Out at second. Quick turn. Double play. Seattle gets 2. The air and the hit batter helped them out quite a bit. The Royals come up down 2-0. The Royals in the bottom of the first inning, and yes, that is Salvador Perez in the on-deck area. He will bat second as a designated hitter. Brett Eibner will bat fourth. Chesler Cuthbert's really been swinging the bat well lately. He'll bat fifth. Alex Gordon bats seventh. And when asked if that's something fans can expect to see after the break, Matt, of course, said, we're just going day by day.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, his 180 average against lefties is one of the reasons. Escobar's hitting 216 against lefties, and Drew Butera 222. So those guys aren't doing much off of southpaw. So he put him down in the bottom.
And it's 6'5" lefty Mike Montgomery with a fastball strike to Whit Merrifield. Diving play at third by Seager. Man, he can play. Can't hit it any harder than Merrifield did. So Seager is driven into, and he's made a diving play before the entire first inning is over.
Yes, he is. So one baseball player hit it to another, and that's a compliment. When you're labeled as a baseball player, that's a heck of a compliment. Guys that play hard and down and dirty. But after that first pitch by Montgomery, that looks like it's good hitting speed. Firm, right in there. 90 to 96. He's come out of the bullpen. You know, he's not going to be able to go as deep in the game as he'd like to when he's stretched out. But Salvador Perez, he's our Honda's most trusted player. His teammates believe it.
Seager again. And Salvador Perez is the second out. Salvi has 5 hits in this series, with 5 runs scored, 2 home runs, and 4 driven in. Mike Montgomery was a Royals first-round pick, supplemental first-round pick in 2008, the same draft that produced Eric Hosmer, and then was traded to Tampa Bay in the deal that brought Wade Davis and James Shields to the Royals. And then early last season, he was traded to the Mariners for lefty Erasmo Ramirez. So 27 years old, and he's in his 3rd organization.
But have good left arm will travel.
Big breaking ball that comes out of the sky. 0-2 on Kendrys Morales. One and two.
It's a pitch there Montgomery's going to have to use. That curveball. He's got a little cutter. There's what Morales is doing. Right-handed. He's been a lot better average-wise, but still similar power. He leaves something up and out over, he can give it a ride.
In the air to right field. Nelson Cruz out there today and makes the play, and that's the inning. An 8-pitch 1-2-3. Bottom of the first from Mike Montgomery, who got some help from his defense. It was Kids Fest today, and the first 5,000 kids received a Slugger Big Head, but I think some of the adults have taken those away and they're using them as makeshift fans on a hot, humid day.
Well, I thought that's what they were for, but man, I saw them coming in. Nice to see Slugger all over the ballpark.
Chris Iannetta leads off the second inning. Dillon Gee ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Frustrating first inning for Dillon Gee. He committed a throwing error and hit a batter, and the Mariners turned it into 2 runs. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You know, after you make a mistake, and these guys, they aren't machines, they're not perfect, they're just like anybody else. It's important you let it go and move on, pass it. Right now, he's got to be focusing right here on this hitter, and he is. Just keep it down, get the out. Good try. Wants to stay out of the middle. Iannetta's having a good season. He's not much of an average hitter, but his power's there.
Still 3-2. See all those fans flapping. I don't see many kids holding those Slugger Big Heads. See? Although that little guy looks like he's taking a nap. Those don't look like kids to me.
How can you not wear a hat on a day like today?
Escobar takes care of Iannetta. 1 away. This is the final game of the season between the Royals and the Mariners, with the season series tied at 3 games apiece. The Royals have won 6 of the last 8 season series with Seattle, and it has been one low-scoring game after another. Breaking ball for a strike to Leonys Martin. The 2 teams are averaging combined, averaging 5.3 runs per game.
Any kind of pitching, that's a winning record, or that's a team above 500, you would think.
So there you go, combined 32 runs in 6 games. Very close, a little bit inside to Martin. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Field and Culbreth is the home plate umpire. He's also the crew chief. Just inside again, 2-2. That time, Gee got the call, and you can understand Martin's frustration. He's probably saying, wait a minute, the 2 pitches before that weren't strikes. Why is that one a strike?
Well, you know, sometimes umpire, he'll give you 1, but he's not going to give you 2, and that was a good pitch right over the middle of the plate. Might have been the low part of the zone, but great changeup.
Jim Reynolds at first base, Manny Gonzalez at second, C.B. Bucknor at third. Umpiring crew that includes a couple of firsts in Major League history. C.B. Bucknor, the first Major League umpire born in Jamaica. Manny Gonzalez, the first Major League umpire born in Venezuela. There's CB. I bet he got a good night's sleep last night, working the plate yesterday for that mid-afternoon game with the heat index at 98.
Well, look, it's not just the players that know how to hydrate. The umpires, they need to hydrate even more because they never sit down during the course of the game. How about that? They don't go in like the players do and sit down for a few minutes. Get a little ammonia water splashed on you that's doused in ice. Makes you feel good. Trainers come around, Give you a little towel, cold towel around your neck. Uh-oh. There's a little heat, little temper already going. Scott Service, Mariners skipper.
I think that was, at least for fielding Cobra, that was directed toward Leonis Martin. It is not typical for a dugout to be chewing on a home plate umpire when the batter just took a ball. So that was probably Martin screaming about the call in his at bat, and Scott Service doesn't want to lose his center fielder in the second inning. Still 3-2 on Sean O'Malley.
Look, you know, if it's too close, you have the option to swing the bat and foul it off. It's not the umpire's fault.
O'Malley walks, but that illustration right there that Missouri Lottery Fox tracks, I think, is what makes Martin so upset. Pitch number 5 was right on top of pitch number 4. Pitch number 4 was called a ball, and that's what most hitters and most pitchers will tell you, that if anything from a home plate umpire, they just want him to be consistent.
Yeah, and I understand all that. But look,
but it's still
with 2 strikes on you, right? 2 strikes on you, foul it off.
Here's Ketel Marte. He opened the game with a base hit to left field. One ball and no strikes.
Look at that. He inhales and exhales. Now watch him. He's how loose he is. You like to show you the technique of a hot hitter. Watch where he puts the bat before he hits. Right there on his shoulder. Okay, loose grip. He's not trying to over grip. Now he's going to get ready. As the pitch comes on the way, you automatically tighten the grip and you make contact so you can react quicker with the looser grip.
What's the alternative to inhaling and exhaling?
Relaxation. Relax those muscles, because man, you got to fire on contact, so you loosen them up by that deep breathing technique. If you'd come to me in the yoga class, you would learn that technique. Been begging you to come for years now.
I have to go to a yoga class to inhale and exhale?
It will teach you the proper technique and how to it relates to your muscles and your body.
You and Fizz should do a yoga class on zombie night.
We might. I think if that ball comes down, the inning's over.
Paulo inhaling and exhaling. And the Mariners are scoreless in the second inning. drove in 2 in the Mariners' first inning. Royals went down 1-2-3 against Mike Montgomery, and now Brett Eibner, who is batting cleanup today, followed by Cheslor Cuthbert. Those two, along with Whit Merrifield, played big roles in yesterday's 5-3 win over Seattle. One ball and no strikes. Eibner facing a former minor league teammate in Mike Montgomery. Montgomery's played with many Royals on the current 25-man roster. One ball, one strike.
Montgomery's going to challenge you. He's not going to back away. And when you have a good fastball mid-90s like his with a little bit of sink to it, that's the reason why you're going to challenge guys. Fastball curve, cut fastball, changeup. More dominant with the fastball, and he can elevate as the game goes on. Remember, he was in the bullpen for the Mariners most early part of this season, and he was kind of like Danny Duffy. He was coming out, you know, throwing 96, 97 miles an hour and letting that fastball hunt. And now he's going to have to reel back a little bit if they want him to produce in the starting rotation. Got to conserve.
Maybe, maybe not.
You're right.
Danny Duffy. The Royals wanted him to pitch with the same mentalities he did out of the bullpen, and that's worked.
And of course, both bullpens today, this afternoon, will all be on high alert. Guys are on pitch counts.
Tough hop, and it skips by Marte. So Eibner's on with a leadoff single. That's a second hard hit ball to the left side of the infield for the Royals.
Blue Jays official score would have gave him an error on that. But look, that nearly undressed him. And believe me, I've been on the back end of some of those before, and man, that's a do or die, watch your lips type of play.
By the way, the Blue Jays official score is Omar Ozzie Aparicio.
You better believe it.
Inside to Cuthbert. Cheslor drove in 2 yesterday, including the run that put the Royals in front 4-3 in the 6th inning, and then Salvador Perez homered in the 7th to make it 5-3, and that was the final. One ball, one strike.
Cuthbert, in the first 3 games of the series, he's gotten a lot of base hits on off-speed secondary pitches. So I'm not surprised to see Montgomery coming at him to see if he can hit the heater today. Got the first one by him there.
Slice to right field. Cruz closes in on it. 1 down.
Just a reminder, as you enjoy Cole, one to look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Doing the right thing by aiming the ball to right field. Cruz, he's more of a DH. Limited mobility. Might could get some extra base hits if you could just find a spot out there in right field. Very spacious room here at the K.
Paulo Orlando has 5 hits in the series. Put an end to an 0 for 17 on Thursday night. Chance for 2, and that is double play number 7 for the Seattle Mariners in this 4-game series. 2 scoreless innings for Mike Montgomery. Top of the third, Seattle has a 2-0 lead. Baseball superstars come together for the primetime event that will light up the summer. The MLB All-Star Game from San Diego coming up in a couple of days, only on Fox.
Well, we got to see the uniform tops today as the Royals coaches and players were announced, and they in their Padre yellow or orange. What is that color? Yellow?
Mustard.
Oh, excuse me.
Mustard and brown. Lovely sports colors. Breaking ball is high, 2-0 on Seth Smith. He reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning. Seattle had a runner at first with 1 out. Robinson Cano hit a comebacker to Dylan Gee. A double play was probably a stretch, but the Royals certainly had an out at second base. Dylan Gee threw the ball into center field, and the next batter, Nelson Cruz, was hit by a pitch, and that loaded the bases for Kyle Seager, who drove in 2 with a single. 2-2 on Smith. Little bit high, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
That's a good pitch if you're a hitter. You're wanting to see something up so you can get it airborne, drive it. Eibner playing the deep right field. They're playing Smith to pull.
Line to right field, sinking, and it drops in front of Eibner.
Yep, he was deep. His back was up against the wall. A little top spin.
So leadoff man on for the second time in 3 innings. And now Robinson Cano. His at bat in the first inning really turned that inning around. Fouls it off of Butera's mask. No balls and 1 strike. Robinson Cano with 20 home runs. Do you know that his 248 home runs as a second baseman, now he's the DH today, that is the most in American League history? No balls, 2 strikes. Do you know that?
I didn't know that. No.
Now, of course, he plays a position that's not normally known for home runs, but
Joe Morgan, Ryan Sandberg. How about Kent?
Jeff Kent is the major league record. 351. Spent most of his career in the National League, but nobody has more as a second baseman in American League history than Robinson Cano, and he still has a lot of years left. And you know, we brought this up before with other players, just because of the way they wear the uniforms today, that, you know, they're baggy, but Robinson Cano is a big man. I mean, he has bricklayer hands. I mean, you look at him right now at home plate, and he doesn't look like a little guy, but you get up next to Robinson Cano, and he is built out of granite.
Yeah, they have to be built for the long haul, that's for sure. Endurance sport.
Alex fighting the sun and makes the play. 1 away, and Smith is back to first base. Coming up after the All-Star break, we'll hope you'll join the Royals and local business professionals for Business Day at the K. That's July 20th. The event will feature a pregame presentation by Royals general manager Dayton Moore, as well as networking opportunities and snacks. Visit royals.com/business for more information. The ticket includes the pregame presentation and the afternoon game with the first place Cleveland Indians. 1 on, 1 out to Nelson Cruz.
Indians happen to be down at the present moment to the New York Yankees 5-1. 4th inning.
And they're batting with the bases loaded and nobody out. 1-1 on Cruz. He was down in the count 0-2, and then Dylan Gee trying to pitch him up and in, hit him on the elbow, and that loaded the bases with 1 away. Cruz has been around for a while, so he's not a young player, and yet we discussed this yesterday. He's the rare player who actually performs better as a designated hitter than he does when he's in the field. Today he's in right field, and Dylan Gee strikes him out. See, if he was the DH today, he might have doubled on that pitch.
I agree. Oh well. Good luck to him and the Mariners after today.
That's Dylan's 2nd strikeout, and now 2 down to Kyle Seager, who's had a big impact already. He drove in 2 with a single to right field in the 1st inning, and then with the Royals' first batter in the bottom of the 1st, he made a diving play on a smash from Whit Merrifield.
Now, when watching, a lot of the hitters have wristbands so they can wipe the sweat off. Seager doesn't have any. Yeah, those sweat beads come out of that helmet and they get in your eyes sometimes. You got to have some way to wipe the sweat off.
Out in front, 2 balls, 1 strike.
Kyle Seager, not built like his brother, Corey Seager. He's a lot thicker, stronger, larger base. His brother's a shortstop, a lot thinner, leaner. Still got pop, though.
That's hit well, but right to Alex in left field. To the bottom of the 3rd inning, Seattle leads the Royals 2-0. Ann's son needed blood following surgery in 1994. She founded and is now the co-chair of the United Methodist Church of the Resurrection Blood Drive Committee. This past May, the church collected its 35,000th unit of blood and over the years has helped 70,000 patients fight cancer, recover from surgery, and from serious accidents. And Ann is sitting in the Buck O'Neil Legacy seat at today's game.
Congratulations, Ann, and thank you for helping others.
Lower third of the order, Alex Gordon, Alcides Escobar, and Drew Butera against Mike Montgomery. Alex Gordon was not in the lineup yesterday with lefty Wade Miley pitching for Seattle. Alex is hitting .201 overall. Drilled to deep center field and off the wall. And before I could get the words out of my mouth, I was going to tell you that Alex has only hit 173 since coming back from the disabled list, and he hits a rocket off the wall in center field off of Mike Montgomery.
Outstanding groundskeeper Trevor Vance better get his crew out there to check for a hole in that wall. As I'm telling you, that short compact swing we haven't seen, and that's a welcome sight. That ball had a little hump back to it, and it stuck right in the middle of the wall. Alex had to go hard to get two.
The corners come up for Alcides Escobar.
He's got 7 sacrifices on the year, and you see that little inside move there. That wasn't to worry about Gordon stealing. That's to see if Escobar would come around to bunt. And so they would get a little idea, a little heads up of what they're doing. They like to do that. He didn't give it away by, he didn't act like he was going to bunt. Escobar has a good swing to the opposite field. Maybe he can utilize that and take a chance on scoring Alex on a single.
The next run the Royals score against Mike Montgomery will be their first. He has now pitched 12 consecutive scoreless innings against the Royals. 9 of those came in his first major league shutout. Change up to Escobar, 1 ball, 1 strike. It was just his 5th major league start, June 23rd of last year. No walks, 10 strikeouts. He retired 17 in a row at one point. And you know that tasted a little sweeter doing it against the team that traded you away.
Sure did, but you notice where all those pitches were located? Down. He was on his game. I mean, he quick work too.
And then a week later, he pitched a shutout at San Diego, joining Randy Johnson, Freddie Garcia, Mark Langston as the only Mariners to pitch back-to-back shutouts, and he did it in his 5th and 6th career starts.
Impressive.
So 9 innings in that game, and then back on May 1st, he pitched 1 scoreless inning out of the Mariners bullpen, and now 2 scoreless innings so far today. Escobar stays alive at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Heskey has reached base safely in 25 consecutive games by way of a hit, a walk, or being hit by a pitch. And that's the longest active streak in the major leagues.
And if he has to make it out, why not make it a productive out? Move the runner. Good try. Took a shot at it. It's important the Royals play good, sound, fundamental offensive baseball. That's in their DNA.
Full count.
You got to do the little things right when you're not a power hitting team. Any way to generate some runs. We've witnessed that over the last few years, the Royals' offensive style.
Had a play. those fans flapping, all the Slugger big heads trying to just get the air moving on a muggy day in Kansas City. Another foul ball.
Eski's trying to wear him down. Eski hitting just .216 off of lefties, but his one homer is against the lefty.
Deep short, tough play, Marte, and out. An outstanding play by Ketel Marte. The Mariners get the out, and Alex Gordon is not able to advance to third base.
Beautiful to see big league shortstops attempt those plays in the hole. Some jump. Look at how quickly he got rid of it. Didn't need to jump. It was all on the release and over the top, using the Trevor turf to help him. Watch that. Well, that ball didn't stay in his glove long. And for a runner with Escobar's type of speed, he wanted that base hit.
Strike to Drew Butera. This is Drew's first at bat in this series.
.214. Drew's hitting with a runner in scoring position.
Now Alex goes to third. So that was an easy play for Marte after a very difficult play on the ground ball from Escobar.
Yep, a little bit of a mental mistake there. Ball hit to your right. You don't advance with nobody out or one out.
So that leaves a runner at first with two down to Whit Merrifield. Change up. Merrifield got around on a fastball in the first inning and hit a smash up the third base line, and Kyle Seager made a diving play to throw him out. Whit Merrifield with an impressive first half for the Royals. Yesterday was the 18th multi-hit game for him in 45 games. 45 games, 18 multi-hit. He's the only major league player to have 18 multi-hit games in fewer than 50 games. So we're not talking about a great start for a rookie. We're talking about a great start for any player in the major leagues this year.
Isn't that why you call him two-hit Whit?
Two-hit Whit. Unless Kyle Seager gets in the way. Struck him out with a breaking ball. Royals waste the Alex Gordon leadoff double, and at the end of 3, Seattle leads 2-0.
Lead the Royals here at Kauffman Stadium as we take a look at our University of Kansas Hospital injury report. The Boston Red Sox placing Craig Kimbrel on the disabled list. He's going to have knee surgery. He's going to miss at least a few weeks, maybe a month and a half, and so they ended up trading with Arizona the other night for Brad Ziegler, the Odessa, Missouri native. He'll be in the 8th inning, and the 9th inning they're saying right now will be Koji Uehara. Guys, as we inch towards the All-Star break, I guess we're doing more than inching towards that now. Had a chance to talk to a lot of the players. What are you doing during the All-Star break? A lot of rest and relaxation for the guys that are staying at home. Paulo Orlando said that his wife is here, as Kendry's going to handle that one, and his young daughter said they're going to go out and see the zoo. And recommended they go over to Science City and over to Crown Center too, so he was excited about that. And how about Cheslor Cuthbert with that huge smile, HUD? He said he's going to spend the break getting braces.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, good idea.
It doesn't sound like
That's
a fun way
first
to
for
spend.
me.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a fun way to spend the break.
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, he smiles and he lights up a room anyway.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Way to go, Joel. That's some serious investigation there.
It is.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
It's more than I did.
HUD, only the hardest hitting journalism here.
I like it.
Glad
But
to do it for
Joel,
you.
how many guys are going to be inhaling and exhaling during the All-Star break?
I think HUD should get them hot yoga passes for the All-Star break. Anyway, back to you.
That's not going to stay in. Maybe.
Right into the Royals dugout and out of the Royals dugout. 2-1 on Iannetta. Talking to Ned Yost about Eric Hosmer in particular. Eric had a fast start to the season. All-star numbers in April and May. Carried the Royals offensively in April and May. And the numbers have tailed off in June and July. So you think he could really use a break. But Ned was saying that it is so refreshing, especially for a young player, to experience an all-star game for the first time. 2-2 on Iannetta. That while they're going to be busy with all the home run derby in the game and all the festivities, that is just an injection of energy, adrenaline. So he won't get time off from baseball during the All-Star break, but that's really going to fill him up for the second half.
It's a good idea. Montgomery, tough lefty today. Good day to sit.
Still 3-2 on Iannetta.
Although I'm not so sure Hosmer wouldn't turn down an opportunity to face Steven Cishek if they need him late in the game.
Still 3-2. And a lot of that is just the natural ebb and flow of a 6-month baseball season. But he is the starter for the American League All-Star team. Changeup strikes out Iannetta. Dylan G has 3 strikeouts today. 2 down, and here's our last sprint trivia question for the All-Star break. 5 players to hit at least 20 home runs for the Royals and the Mariners. That is a foul ball. Danny Tartabull. No? Martin struck out looking his first time up. No balls, 2 strikes. Dylan G got Martin looking at a changeup in the second inning. Martin was not happy with that call. talked it over with home plate umpire Fielden Culbreth, and then screamed at Culbreth from the third base dugout and almost got thrown out. Now on a 0-2 pitch, he serves one into right field, and he's on with 2 away.
Caught the lower part of the zone, but he went down and got it.
How about Steve Balboni?
I didn't know Bonesy even played for the Mariners.
So we got 3 more, Hud. Sean O'Malley walked against Dillon in the 2nd inning. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Dylan G was going to be limited to about 85 pitches today. He is at 79, so Brian Flynn is getting ready in the Royals bullpen, and everyone is available today outside of maybe Edinson Volquez.
Yep, all hands on deck.
Two and two.
How about Raul Ibanez?
Good one. Mike Sweeney hit 20 home runs for the Mariners? Nope. Still 2 and 2. O'Malley came back from 0-2 when he walked his first time up. Switch hitter chokes up on the bat with 2 strikes. Washington native from Kennewick, Washington, which is about 3 hours out of Seattle. So he was born to be a Mariner. 3 balls, 2 strikes. We were telling you on Thursday night that one of his favorite players as a kid watching the Mariners is now his hitting coach, Edgar Martinez. How about going from having a poster of Edgar Martinez in your bedroom to working one-on-one in the batting cage with him? It's out into right center field, and with Martine running, he'll go to third. And with 2 outs, the Mariners have back-to-back hits. Top of the order coming up. And speaking of coming up, Ned Yost is coming up the stairs to make a pitching change.
Well, when you choke up on the bat, you get hits like that. Just trying to put the ball in play, give you a better balance. You choke up an inch.
So 84 pitches. Marte, a switch hitter. And then left-hand hitters Smith and Cano coming up. That's the right time to bring in Brian Flynn. Chevy call to the bullpen. Seattle leads 2-0, top of the 4th inning. 2-0 Seattle. They have runners at first and third with 2 down. All right, parents, help your child win the opportunity of a lifetime by entering them into the Kids Run the Show contest coming up on Sunday, September 4th. So you have plenty of time to register. Your child could spend the afternoon assisting with select game day positions such as team photographer, K-Crew member, TV broadcaster, in-stadium host, and more. The deadline to apply is August 1st. You can fill out your application now at royals.com/kidsruntheshow. Your child as a team photographer, K-Crew member, TV broadcaster, or in-stadium host. Marte bunts. Flynn off the mound. Did he get it out of his glove in time? He could not. Ketel Marte with a push bunt to the right side drives in Martin. And with 2 outs and nobody on, the Seattle Mariners get 3 straight singles, and their lead is 3-0.
What a heads up bunt that was. Perfect placement. You get a big lefty, most of them fall off to the third base side, as you see he did right there. And by the time he shuffled it over, it's just too late. That's a great play. Just pick up an RBI. Excellent hustle, especially when you're bunting from the right side and you push it. You're already coming out of the box with that kind of speed. You got to be perfect.
And now Seth Smith, 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. O'Malley's at second base. Marte is at first. Fastball is in for a strike. Flynn worked on Friday night. He pitched 2 scoreless innings, retiring 6 of the 7 hitters he's faced. One ball, 1 strike.
Flynn will sweep that breaking ball, that slider, away from lefties and tries to bury it into righties. Mix in some change-ups and some sinking fastballs. Low 90s velocity.
Late swing, 1-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. The one hit that Flynn allowed on Friday was to Robinson Cano, a rare base hit from a left-hand batter against Flynn. Batting just 129. And righties aren't doing all that well, just 245. Smith strikes out. Didn't have a very good swing. With 2 outs and nobody on, the Mariners string together 3 singles, and their lead is now 3-0. Chevy. Visit your local Kansas City area Chevy dealer for great prices on the all-new 2016 Malibu. By Panera Bread, food as it should be with 24 KC Metro locations. And by Academy Sports and Outdoors, right stuff, low price every day. It is now 3-0 Seattle. And Mike Montgomery, against his original organization, has 13 consecutive scoreless innings. Royals did get a leadoff double from Alex Gordon in the 3rd inning and did not turn that into a run. And now base hit into left field from Salvador Perez. That's his 6th hit of the series.
Salvi improving on that 266 average against lefties there, finding the hole, and I can't believe that Seager didn't catch that. 2 hopper with topspin right by him. One way to get back in this game with 1 swing of the bat would be nice. Morales, he can do it. He's 6 home runs off of lefties this year, of the 15 homers total.
Montgomery misses low. He got Kendrys on a fly ball to right field in the 1st inning. Two and 0. He was going for it all. 2 balls and 1 strike. Now the All-Star break is both a physical break and a mental break. And we go back to the 4 days off that Kendrys Morales had at the end of May. Before those 4 days off, he was hitting 185. Now that's late May. That's not still early. He was dealing with a sprained finger. And since coming back from his break, he's hit 357.
Maybe that'll relate to when he comes back against the Tigers. He's trying to pull everything here now off Montgomery, and you know, with Montgomery's pitches down low, he's going to top most of them unless he hangs one and makes a mistake. Morales has good opposite field power. 2 strikes he's protecting, but he's been trying to pull him. See if he can catch one.
Oh, big breaking ball struck him out. That's Montgomery's 2nd strikeout, both with the curve. So 1 on 1 out. Let's go to Joel.
Well, you talked about Mike Montgomery having a lot of former teammates. If you look at the 2011 PCL championship team in Omaha, Mike Jerschele was the manager. Talking to Montgomery the other day, they had an outfield of Kane, Dyson, Lowe, and Orlando. Salvi was a catcher, Hosmer, Moustakas, Herrera, Holland, Duffy, and Montgomery at some point on that squad. He said that Eric Hosmer was his roommate in 2011 in Omaha until he got called up. So Dyson then became his roommate. But you think back, guys, 3 stud left-handed pitchers out of California. Duffy drafted in 07, Montgomery and John Lamb in 2008. It's Montgomery that helped get Shields and Davis here, Lamb that helped get Cueto, and now Duffy is the star.
Another double play for the Seattle Mariners. So the Royals have had the leadoff man on in each of the 3 innings, but they're still scoreless against Montgomery. with 1-on-1 out in the first inning. That was a big play. A comebacker by Robinson Cano that ends up in center field. And then Nelson Cruz was hit by an 0-2 pitch, and that loaded the bases for Kyle Seager, maybe the hottest hitter in the American League at the moment. So that drove in 2. And then with 2 outs and nobody on, the Mariners had 3 straight singles. The third was a bunt single by Ketel Marte, scoring Leonys Martin. And Seattle with 3 runs, 6 hits. 3 runs all charged to Dylan G. He was replaced by Brian Flynn with 2 down in the 4th inning. And now Flynn will get Cano, Cruz, and Seager in the 5th inning.
So it's the Mariners capitalizing on Royals' mistakes. But that Ketel Marte bunt, that push bunt, that was special. That's all on his own there. Any way he can to get that ribby in from third base, ended up getting a base hit out of it. Good play.
1-1 on Cano. Two and 1 to Robinson Cano. Mariners have their leadoff man on. Cano is 1 for 3. And it's time for a Lee Summit Mazda game break. The Yankees are all over the Indians. That's Jacoby Ellsbury homering to right center field. The Indians are hanging in there. Yankees had a big lead early on. At one point it was 7-1 New York, and now it's 11-7. So if the Yankees can hang on and the Royals can come back, a little momentum going into the break, and the Royals deficit would be 6 games. Then right after the break, the Royals will be in Detroit for a 3-game series. One of the teams the Royals need to pass in the Central, and then 2 series after that they'll have the Indians right here at Kauffman Stadium, and the Royals have already swept the Indians at Kauffman Stadium this year.
Royals can get back quickly with some big wins. Plenty of time remaining.
Well, with every team that the Royals face, they will identify hitters that they say we cannot allow these hitters to beat us. Cruz fouls it away. And the Mariners, with all that power, they have at least 3 guys that you don't want to allow the game to be put in their hands. Robinson Cano has not driven in 1 run yet against the Royals this year. The guy at the plate, Nelson Cruz, has driven in 2, and he's down on strikes. This is game 7 between the 2 teams, but coming up now is Kyle Seager. And the Royals have really pitched Cano and Cruz well with men on base, but Kyle Seager has driven in 6.
Their meat of the order is as strong as any meat we've seen this year. All those guys in there. 50+ RBIs from Cano, Cruz, and Seager.
Right to Morales. Step on the bag. Cano in a rundown. And he's out. So the Royals give the Mariners a taste of their medicine by turning a double play.
The fifth inning, our AT&T high-speed replay. We're going to show you. Look at that starting position by Morales. Down low, knees bent, soft hands. Able to take that easy out in front of him. And once he touches him, he's got a rundown opportunity. The runner was already committed in Cano. He goes back 1, 2, 3 throws. No problem. Got her done.
Cuthbert takes down an in ball one. Mike Montgomery has now thrown 14 consecutive scoreless innings against the Royals. You got Chesler on a fly ball to right field in the second inning. Pops away from Iannetta. 2 balls and no strikes.
And like his start earlier or last season when he had that brilliant start we've been talking about, everything was down, and so far he's doing a good job here. Today, same thing, down, down, down.
Seager, another good play at third, and right on the money to Lynn for the first out. So what you hope for against a pitcher like this is A, he hits a wall and you just start piling up the runs, or you get a couple of guys on and he allows a home run. Here's the problem with our Kubota power stats for today. Montgomery has now pitched 54 2/3 innings, and he's allowed 1 home run. That's the best for any pitcher in the major leagues who's gone at least 50 innings this year. 1 home run in 54 2/3 innings.
Well, tells me he's commanding down in the lower part of the zone. If you're up constantly, someone is going to get you. Just like that one there. Now that's a good pitch to drive out, but he wasn't looking for that one. So you got to give the credit to Montgomery for really being extremely consistent and upping his stock, whether it's in the bullpen or as a starter. Look at that. That's off the plate and in. That's the reason he's doing so well.
Paulo grounded into a double play to end the second inning. The Mariners have turned 8 double plays in this series. Curveball struck him out. 3 strikeouts, all with the curveball for Montgomery. Missouri Lottery Fox Tracks. Great location. Of the 8 double plays that the Mariners have turned in this series, 6 came in an inning when the Royals had the leadoff man on. Alex takes a fastball for a strike. Alex doubled leading off the 3rd inning, and the Royals were not able to cash that into a run.
Sure couldn't. They couldn't. It was his own mental mistake trying to advance to third base. It took him out of the inning. But this has been the most, or the best well-struck ball of the day. Right off the wall on the line. He was ready early in the count. Now he's down 0-2. He's going to maybe see some breakers away from him.
Changeup is in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Alex came close to hitting a home run against Montgomery when he doubled in the 3rd inning, hitting a line drive off the center of the wall and straightaway center field. On the ground to second, and that is 15 scoreless innings for Mike Montgomery against the Royals. Our sprint trivia question. There are 6 players who have hit at least 20 home runs for the Royals and the Mariners. We have come up with Raul Ibanez, Danny Tartabull, Steve Balboni. Joel chimed in with Jose Guillen, so that's 4. It's Sundays, so that means Denny Matthews joins us. Would you have guessed Al Cowens or Yuniesky Betancourt?
Betancourt would never have entered my mind.
Me neither.
Just saying.
Me 3.
He was considered when he was with the Seattle Mariners. He was considered one of the up-and-coming elite shortstops in the American League.
He was. His time with the Royals was interesting and brief.
And yet,
nice way of putting it.
You know, Dayton Moore brought up an excellent point, though, because, you know, he had his ups and downs with the Royals, more downs than ups. But if the Royals do not include Yuniesky Betancourt in the Zach Greinke trade with the Milwaukee Brewers, there's no Alcides Escobar. You might get Lorenzo Cain, you might get Jake Odorizzi, and you might get Jeremy Jeffress. But to get Alcides Escobar, the Brewers needed a shortstop, and they liked Yuniesky Betancourt.
So you're saying he helped the Royals more by leaving than he did when he was here.
There you go. There you go.
Value's important, and being wanted by others. You got to have that to consummate a deal.
Well, that's got to be your attitude as a player. Maybe the first time you're traded, and that's a blow. You come up in an organization, they trade you. Your first thought is they don't want me.
That'll be caught by Eibner in right field.
So your attitude then after the shock wears off is, well, somebody did want me. Maybe the original team didn't, but this team does. That's the way you have to take it, right?
Yep, you are correct. In this time of year, especially with names floating around with that July 31st trade deadline, you know, it was always, as a player, you're always happy to hear your name out there. You know, you're not throwing your name out. Other teams are, other baseball, you know, aficionados throw that stuff out there, and it's great when you're a player and you hear your name. You're like, all right, somebody wants me.
But if you don't hear your name,
it's not good.
You don't want to be, as Yogi once said, a forgotten memory.
It happens fast.
Don't want to be that.
No.
You're here one day and gone the next.
That's right.
Do you know who the Mariners essentially gave away because they were so high on Yuniesky Betancourt?
I don't remember.
Asdrubal Cabrera. Think about all the big years he had with the Cleveland Indians.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly who it was. I'm sure Holtze can look it up, but I want to say whoever Cleveland sent to Seattle for Asdrubal Cabrera was out of baseball in a year or so.
Well, one of the most famous or infamous, whichever side you're on, trades in history. And one guy who really had a good career was traded from St. Louis to Chicago, and Lou Brock was traded from Chicago to St. Louis. Ernie Broglio really helped the Cardinals. He was a right-handed pitcher, but he hurt his arm and never really helped the Cubs much. And of course, that trade has stuck in the craw of Cubs fans forever. So you think, well, one of the great trades, Lou Brock for Ernie Broglio. But ideally, if you make a trade, you're hoping that it helps both teams. Because if you send a player that doesn't help the other team, they may not ever make another deal with you. If you give them a player who helps them, they'll say, yeah, let's talk again.
And as fans, you know, we love to talk about the trades that were lopsided. Escobar, and you can see the sun reflecting off of his glasses, makes the play to get Martin, and there are 2 down. The trades that are normally talked about the most are those kinds, Denny, the ones where you go, boy, can you believe that this team got this player for only fill in the blank, but general managers will tell you that that's not their goal.
Right.
You're not trying to, you know, pull one over on the other team.
Yeah, fans say, oh boy, did we make a great trade. Look what we gave away didn't help them at all. Well, that's not the idea. You're right. And general managers, you're right. They don't want to give the other team the raw end of the deal, so to speak.
I was only traded twice. Once was in the offseason, once was in April, early in the season. Whitey Herzog traded for me. I was with the Expos. And they got for John Costello, who was a reliever that Whitey made look so good in that bullpen, he made him attractive to somebody else. Costello went there and fell flat on his face 2 weeks into the trade, and he was gone. And there was rumors swirling that there was damaged goods. And then they were gonna nullify the trade, and I had to go back to Montreal, and I was going, no way, that can't happen. But I guess it can at some point. If the guy that they get comes up with an injury or something, there's always an investigation about that.
The worst trades are those that don't help either team.
Right.
And that was the case of my trade.
I wasn't connecting that.
No, but you know what? I didn't do much.
At
with
least
the Cardinals.
Costello had the excuse of being injured.
Yeah, and you know, but though I got 3 years there, so it was fun. It was a fun run for me. But look, you're right, Denny. You just never know, and you want to be able to do business with all teams.
Great trade would have been Abbott for Costello. Jim Abbott, remember him?
Well, sure. Abbott, it's beautiful. We got him in a trade in '95 as I was with the Angels, and we were needing a pitcher down the stretch. And Bill Bavasi went out and got Abbott, and I can't remember who we gave him, but we already had Chuck Finley and Mark Langston. We already had 2 lefties in our rotation. And we loved Jim Abbott, but we were needing David Cone. That was the year that Cone was out there, and we needed him, and we couldn't get that deal, and we ended up having to play a 1-game playoff against the Mariners, and they beat us and went on. But Jim Abbott, what a heck of a guy.
What a story.
Yeah, wonderful. And he's out sharing now. He's a motivational speaker, which he should be, encouraging people with disabilities. There you go, Flynn.
That's 2 1/3 scoreless for Brian Flynn with 3 strikeouts. 3-0 Seattle to the bottom of the 6th. Alcides Escobar, Drew Butera, and Whit Merrifield are coming up in the bottom of the 6th inning. First, our T-Mobile greater coverage of baseball. Here's a couple of guys that are right on the edge of the big leagues, perhaps, and will playing in the Futures game tonight in San Diego. Jorge Bonifacio, 13 home runs, 15 doubles, and Hunter Dozier, who began the year at Double-A. You combine his numbers, and he's hitting .330 with 15 home runs. Former Royals farmhand Mike Montgomery has pitched 5 scoreless innings today and 15 scoreless innings in his career against the Royals. Mary Green of Kansas City, Kansas is our contestant in the Sonic Slam inning. And if the Royals hit a home run out of the park, Mary wins $2,100. If the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Mary wins 25 grand from Sonic and the Royals. Easy play for Seager. He's had a Gold Glove day at third base. Alcides Escobar is 0 for 2.
Boy, if a left-handed pitcher like Montgomery has a shortstop and a third baseman playing defense the way those two guys have played so far today, they're going to win some games.
That's right. Heavy action on the left side with most lineups dominated from right-handed batters. That lefty coming in, you're going to get a lot of ground balls over there. Denny, if you could have one player on this Mariners team, who would you take? Pitcher or player? Who would it be? I asked Rhino this question yesterday.
All right, give me 2 minutes and 19 seconds to think about it.
Those extra 19 seconds going to help you out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Always do.
This time Seager plays the short hop, 2 down.
That guy's my choice, Seager. Rhino picked Cano. He had 2 or 3 he would take.
Salary aside.
Yeah, just players. You could have any one of them.
All right. I'll take the guy at third base.
All right, thank you. I think he's an excellent baseball player.
His brother isn't bad.
Heard. Accepted next week.
Great effort. Untouched, but man, you're right. Chris Iannetta tumbling into the stools where the Royals bat boys hang out.
Look at that, all the stuff that's in the on deck circle. I mean, you know, forget about all that. Just try to make the play. I like that. It's a great effort.
Catchers don't care about all that stuff in the on deck circle.
Yeah.
Did you hear the story about Seager playing high school basketball in North Carolina?
Kyle
Seager.
Okay.
He was a pretty good high school basketball player, good defensively, and they were playing a Christmas tournament at a team from Charlotte, and he was guarding a little spindly shooting guard.
That's up the right field line. And Merrifield, no need to try for 3. Down by 3 with 2 down in the 6th inning, but Witt's hit the ball hard twice today. He's 1 for 3.
So this little spindly guard made a couple of nice shots. Kyle got on him a little tighter. The guy moved back, made a couple more shots. Kyle said, I thought I was doing a good job, but every time I got up on him, he moved back and was making shots almost from half court. It was Seth Curry, who's now playing pretty good in the NBA.
Really?
Yeah.
Great story.
Said, yeah, I'm playing good defense. I'm pushing this guy back, and he's pouring him in from everywhere on the court.
So Seager shouldn't feel bad about that.
No.
Every NBA player that's ever tried to guard Curry can't do it either.
Seager said he probably doesn't remember me, but I remember him from that basketball game.
Awesome.
I guess.
Right field. And that drives Cruz to the front of the warning track.
The wind helped, not at all.
So Merrifield is stranded at second base. 3-0 Seattle. Still 3-0 Seattle. Mariners got some help when they scored 2 runs in the first inning, taking advantage of an error and a hit batter. And the red-hot Kyle Seager drove in 2. And then this man coming to the plate right now, Ketel Marte, dropped down a RBI bunt single in the 4th for Seattle's 3rd run. And now it's Brooks Pounders making his 3rd major league appearance. Brian Flynn turned in 2 1/3 scoreless. So Marte, Smith, and Cano in the 7th inning. Pretty impressive game for the left side of the Mariners infield today, both offensively and defensively.
Yeah, and Marte, and I'm sure you guys have noticed, has done a pretty good job of driving in runs, figuring out a way to get a guy home. 2 sac flies earlier in the series, and then that bunt to drive in a run. So whatever it takes, Marte's figured it out. It's impressive too.
Well, you used the words "figured it out," and Hud and I have been talking about him with those words all series. He's a young player who seems to have figured out what his skill set is and has done a good job of staying within that. And not to pick on Leonys Martin, but he's a guy that the Rangers waited for years to figure it out. And he's been around for a while. And now here's Marte taking a leadoff walk. So he's on for a 3rd time. Would you see, Hud, that Martin had 2 100 strikeout seasons with the Texas Rangers?
Back to back.
As a leadoff type hitter?
You know what, though, guys? Some guys get it as soon as they're in the big leagues. Right away, they got it. Sometimes it takes a couple of years to get it. Sometimes they never get it.
But what Ketel Marte is doing, we were talking about trades earlier, is wanting to be wanted, and he's attractive by the little things he's doing out here on the field. Teams want that. They're like, you know what, he's smart, he stays within himself, and he's beating us. And when you beat your opponent, that's when you really are attractive.
Hit hard but pulled foul by Seth Smith.
Well, first of all, know what kind of a player you are. What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? And play to your strengths. Work to improve your weaknesses, but know what you can do. What can I do with my skill set to help us win tonight? And that's all the manager asks.
Great location. 0-2 from Pounders to Smith. Another thing that Marte has as a little extra motivation is his double play partner was his hero growing up in the Dominican Republic. That'll cause you to focus
You
a
bet.
little extra when you're on the field. Pounders comes back and strikes out Seth Smith. 1 away in the top of the 7th. Don't forget to vote for the Royals Player of the Month at one of the 7 Rally House locations in the KC metro area. All participants will be entered to win a Majestic prize pack.
Pounders, he's getting to work out today, but he's got 3 very nice pitches. Fastball, slider, changeup. Keeps the ball down. It's the thing that's most impressive about him is when he misses down for the most part.
Mentioned earlier that Marte has stolen 8, but he's been thrown out 5 times, and with all the power the Mariners have, they don't run very often. Casey Candel trying to get a read on Brooks Pounders' move. Last time Brooks was on the mound was Thursday, and he got his first major league victory thanks to the Royals walk-off win in the bottom of the 9th inning with his father-dad with the tears streaming down his cheeks.
The dad just failed to get to the big leagues, barely got to AAA, and now Brooks has made it after a lot of bus rides.
Hooking and fair. And those are the first 2 RBIs for Robinson Cano against the Royals all year. And they come in game number 7. And Brooks Pounders, who is making his 3rd major league appearance, just saw a big league home run. That ball was crushed.
Oh, he leaned on this. He tried to sneak a piece of cheese by him, and it ain't working. That's our Dodge drive of the game. Cano's 21st on the season.
And the Royals just canceled Cano's charter trip to San Diego with them.
And now it's 0-2 on Nelson Cruz. Five nothing Seattle, 7th inning. Merrifield. Never saw it. And you can't catch what you don't see. There is no such thing as a graceful way of losing the ball in the sun. A professional athlete looks as helpless as ever, and yet you can't catch what you don't see. He was using everything he had to shade his eyes from the sun.
And you can only hope that it will come out of the sun at the last moment. You can kind of make an adjustment very quickly and catch it. Sometimes it just doesn't come out of the sun, and you're helpless.
I agree with both of your comments. But at least he had his glasses on. If he had them on the side of his hat like we've seen this year, major league players that lose balls in the sun with their glasses on their hats, that's embarrassing. And would warrant a little chewing out by your manager or somebody, especially if it costs a run. At least if you drop it, they understand, but you had your everything you could do with your goggles on. You could, at least you were prepared.
And it's been sunny all day.
I say hot.
1-1 on Kyle Seager. He drove in 2 in the first inning. I won't name the player, but Denny will remember the game. It was a hot Sunday afternoon, just like this one, day game. And this player was an infielder, and out of necessity, he was playing in center field. And in a close game in the late innings, he lost a ball in the sun, and it hit him on the head. And it knocked the sunglasses off of his hat. He didn't have his sunglasses on. They were on his hat on a sunny day.
That's even worse.
And it cost the Royals the game, potentially. And now Cuthbert had some trouble with the sun, and he knew the railing was coming. Now, if that wasn't embarrassing enough, and this was, let's say, in the less than glorious days of the Royals, when things like this would happen all the time, it was a travel day, and that same player, you know where I'm going, don't you, Denny?
Exactly.
That same player got on the plane with his sunglasses on. Buddy Bell was the manager of the Royals, and Buddy always had a very appropriate way of expressing his frustration with moves like that. The words are too spicy to use on the air, especially on a Sunday. But I'll never forget that play, and I'll never forget Buddy's words on the airplane when he was notified that that player remembered to wear his sunglasses on the plane, but not in center field.
Some airplane cabins are very bright.
Apparently so. That's a second hit for Seager. 10 hits for the Mariners, and runners at first and third with 1 out, and Ned Yost is showing a lot of confidence And Brooks Pounders, remember, this was a so-called all hands on deck type of a game as far as relievers being available in a 3-0 game. In the 7th inning, it's Flynn and then Pounders. And the Mariners are, if they haven't already, dangerously close to putting this game away here in the 7th inning. Now, we don't know for sure if Ned was being completely truthful when he said all hands on deck, because you don't necessarily want the opponent to know if there's certain pitchers that are not available. You want Scott Service to come into the game thinking that anybody can come out of that bullpen. Deep into the right field corner. And that is the 2nd home run of the inning for the Seattle Mariners. They have scored 5, and it's now 8-0.
How about the range of emotions of a player? Let's just concentrate on Brooks. A couple of nights ago, euphoria. Best day of my life, or one of. Today, this game will just grab you by the neck and try to choke you.
And then once you get grabbed, it'll drag you in the dirt. You're so correct, Danny.
And the timing of it, right before the All-Star break, right? I mean, he can't come back tomorrow and pitch a good game and then, you know, flush that memory away. Well, the Mariners are flexing their muscle, and they've been hitting home runs all year. 2nd most in the major leagues. For the first 33 innings of this series, the Mariners hit only 2 home runs. And now they have 2, accounting for 5 runs here in the 7th inning. Two balls and 1 strike.
Seattle is finishing up a tough road trip, so this will be a little bit of a bright spot for them as they head back to the Pacific Northwest. But you're right. If you're pitching against this lineup, you better bring your good stuff.
And the Mariners are hoping for a spark in the 2nd half. They got off to a good start. At one point, the Mariners were 10 games above 500 into the latter parts of May. 28-18, first place in the West, but they've been 10 games below 500 since. Their deficit coming into today is 9.5 games in the West. Pounders gets his 2nd strikeout of the inning, and there are 2 down.
We were talking about it the other day, Ryan. I'm not so sure that I remember any season where so many big league teams have been on the roller coaster all year, up and down, good streaks, bad streaks. It's just one of those years that it's happening, and most teams have not been immune. It's the way it's going.
Even the Chicago Cubs. Last 10 games, they're 1-9, and they couldn't go wrong. First full half of the season, they were dominant. Starting rotation, 5 horses.
They were going to win 130.
Oh man, humble pie awaits all.
This game will humble you. We just talked about Brooks individually and team-wise.
Overall, the last 20 games, Joe Maddon's Cubs are 5-15.
They could lose if they tried to in the first 3 months. Well, the Royals roller coaster ride, 12-6. Then they lost 12 of 16. Then they won 15 out of 20. Then they lost 8 in a row. Then they won 8 of 9. And on and on. Cuthbert. Does he make this play? No. Offline, but pretty impressive that he could even unload a throw as he was falling forward.
You said, can he make the play? I'm going to say he made most of it.
Right.
Yeah, that was superb.
I mean, just the transfer from glove to hand in one step, half a step, is impressive. These guys infielders have to have great feet and hands and arm, everything. You got to have the total package if you're going to be a big leaguer. Watch how quickly he gets 1, 2, throw. 1 step, throw off your right leg.
You want me to see if I can get Ryan going on what you just said?
Yes, please.
About infielders, takes a little more skill to play the infield than the outfield. He and I have been going round and round about that
Only for 18 years.
18 years. I mean, look at the 3 guys in the outfield. I mean, they're just standing there. Guys on the infield have to be alert at all times, make great plays. Once in a while you get something hit out there and you go after it, but maybe you stand out there for 3 innings and nothing happens.
Okay, Ryan.
Okay, there's 3 guys in the outfield as opposed to 4 on the infield, covering all that ground out there.
Okay.
Longer throws. And because of all the standing around in the outfield and the lack of activity, I think you have to have more concentration in the outfield.
Both
So you only put your elite players in the outfield.
Both discussions are valid. I mean, you're right on. And to be one of the 9, you're the best in the world.
Well, we'll continue that discussion again next year, and we'll make it 19 years in a row.
The debate will continue.
Have a good break, Dan.
All right, you two guys.
Thank you.
Robinson Cano and Adam Lynn combined for 5 runs driven in the top of the 7th inning.
This one after the 5-run 7th. Panera takes us around the league as everyone in action for the final day before the break. Toronto, R.A. Dickey on the mound pitching well, just like he did against the Royals. Yankees right now on top of Cleveland, so that is good news. Chicago trailing, and Minnesota right now over Texas 1-0. Kenny Vargas with the solo home run. Our Lee's Summit Mazda game break heads north of the border, and that would be the all-star swing of Josh Donaldson. We know it well, saw it up there earlier in the week. The Blue Jays still putting up big offense, so a rough day for just about everyone right now in the American League Central. Ryan?
He is a beast.
I agree.
Josh Donaldson we're talking about. So is Kendrys Morales. And so has Mike Montgomery been a beast against the Royals. A shutout last year in his first appearance against KC. That was back on June 23rd. One scoreless inning of relief on May the 1st and 6 more scoreless innings today. So he's thrown 16 scoreless innings over 3 appearances against the Royals. And this is his first start of the year. He had made 30 relief appearances. And the Mariners had a need in the rotation with Taijuan Walker going on the disabled list. And Montgomery, to say the least, has answered the call.
And I think that answers the term beast. That qualifies for that.
Morales is flied to right and struck out. Sorry, Hud.
No, I was just going to say, especially against the Royals offense that's came in hitting 286 off of lefties. It's right at the top of the American League as far as average goes.
Morales, Eibner, and Cuthbert in the 7th inning. He has been effective and he's been efficient. 6 innings for Montgomery, plus 3 pitches. And only now will he throw his 70th pitch of the day. 3-1.
I mean, he's just been smooth. I mean, hasn't been any long innings. You know, it's in the 3rd inning, 18 pitches. That's a.
It's not a bad inning.
No. You think, but it was quick. It went quick.
Still 3-2.
Sure helps though, like Denny was talking about. Left-handers, you know, pitching against right-handed dominant lineups. That left side of that infield is got to be placed just right because you're getting a lot of guys rolling over, hitting ground balls, and then Seager has really helped him today. Montgomery. Marte, a brilliant play on Escobar in the hole. There's been 3 or 4 hits robbed by those guys today.
Cruz fighting the sun and makes a play. Kind of came in at an angle to try and take the sun out of that play. 1 away in the 7th.
All right, just like we promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And the Royals would agree. Kyle Seager has a magnet in his glove for the baseball. And his throwing stroke, he never overthrows, but he knows exactly how to throw it, where to throw it. Makes it look easy. Seager is a dominant player.
Brett Eibner gets the Royals on the board. Eibner hits his 3rd of the year and a very rare home run given up by Mike Montgomery.
That was a no-doubter. And that'll bring Scott Service to the mound to relieve Montgomery. Looking for some more service. Eibner, quick, compact stroke. That was swung on, gone. Watch out, Doug Henry, bullpen coach down there. It's going to come close to getting you. Loud sound. But Montgomery was awesome.
16 consecutive scoreless innings against his original team, and Eibner homers with 1 out. Chevy call to the bullpen for Seattle. 8-1 Mariners. This is Edwin Diaz, appearing for the second time in the series, coming on after the Royals break through against Mike Montgomery on a Brett Eibner one-out home run. And now Cuthbert hits one up the left field line and down into the corner. So Chesler is 1 for 3.
That'll work for his 9th double. First pitch, ambush. Edwin Diaz throws hard. He's got a mid-90s fastball. He tried to challenge him first pitch, and Chesler said, "Catch that, Seager." Rifled it right by him.
Yeah, Seager made a nice play against him in the 5th inning. Now Paulo Orlando. Paulo grounded into a double play and struck out in his 2 at-bats against Montgomery.
Paulo got a slider. Tried to stay in the middle with it. Diaz will throw a changeup as well.
Oh, and 2. Well, another game where the rookies have chipped in. Merrifield hasn't turned into many runs, just one, but Merrifield 1 for 3, a double. Brett Eibner, home run, 2 hits. Chesler Cuthbert, double. Did it hit the ground first? Field and Colbert says no. And a strikeout for Diaz against Paulo Orlando. The first T-shirt Tuesday of the second half will be on July 19th with the Cleveland Indians here. The first 10,000 fans through the gates receive a T-shirt featuring a Forever Royal pennant. To see all T-shirt Tuesday designs and get tickets, visit Royals.com/T-shirt Tuesday. Royals will have a 3-game series here against those first place Cleveland Indians. We're down 11-7 to the Yankees in that game, moving into the bottom of the 8th inning. Alex doubled up the wall in center field in the 3rd and then grounded out to second in the 5th.
Good short swing I'm seeing from Alex now. And that's 2 in a row now, and the first hit he got today off the center field wall off Montgomery, that was short and compact. They are really looking for Alex Gordon, the Royals are, for him to stand up and be a productive hitter in the second half. That can help them go a long way. Of course, when you get Lorenzo Cain back out there, get these Royals back close to full strength.
100 miles an hour. 1 and 2 on Alex.
I said mid-90s, but he can reach that triple digit.
That's a foul ball, but right there, that's the swing you're talking about right there. Waiting, waiting, not trying to pull that ball or hook it. He had a good, as they say, swing plane.
Every swing he's taken in this at bat, look at that. Ball's going, he's taking his hands right to the ball. Head position is what I'm talking about. He's going to have to start getting those hits to the opposite field to get him right.
And a slider underneath the swing.
Yep, got long with the pitch, but that's an excellent spot by Diaz.
Eibner homers. The Royals are on the board, but at the end of 7, Seattle's lead is 7.
We're going to see more on Eibner until Cain comes back. He's got pop.
Baseball during the break. The All-Star game is Tuesday on Fox, and then on Thursday, Fox Sports Kansas City will replay 5 of the best Royals games from the first half. You can see the list at foxsportskansascity.com. It's the Royals Marathon Thursday, right here on Fox Sports Kansas City. Chien-Ming Wang will get the top of the 8th inning. Royals are down 8-1. Dylan Gee went 3 2/3. Allowed 3 runs. Brian Flynn 2 1/3, no runs, and then Brooks Pounders allowed 5 runs in his 7th inning. And it was Ketel Marte leading off that 5-run 7th inning with a walk, and he leads off here in the 8th. Christian Colon takes over at shortstop. Foul ball by a foot. 1 ball, 1 strike on Marte, who's been on base 3 times. 2 singles. One was a bunt single with 2 outs for an RBI, and then the leadoff walk and the run scored in the 7th. Colon tested right away in time for the out. Missouri Tiger fans will have Mizzou night shortly after the All-Star break on July 22nd. That's the Royals and the Rangers. And the first 5,000 fans who bring their Mizzou-themed ticket through Gate A will receive a special edition gray, black, and gold branded KC cap, which includes the Mizzou logo, courtesy of Fox Sports Kansas City and Rally House. Royals.com/theme tickets. The Royals are going to be tested right away after the break. 3 games at Detroit. The Royals haven't been to Detroit yet, so they'll go there 3 times in the second half, and then when they come home, that best home record in the major leagues will have quite a test, with 3 games with the Rangers, who have the most wins in the American League, followed by 3 games with the Indians, who have the 2nd most wins in the American League. Two and 1 on Seth Smith. Two and 2. Full count on Smith. Chien-Ming Wang is pitching for the first time since Tuesday. Base hit center field. 2nd hit of the day for Seth Smith. So the Royals begin the second half on the road in Detroit. All 3 games televised Friday and Sunday on Fox Sports Kansas City. The Saturday game will be on FS1. Ed Yost announced that he will begin the second half with Ian Kennedy on the mound.
Okay. I'm a little surprised that the Royals haven't been to Detroit yet already this season. I mean, we're second half of the season and they're in our division.
Royals were down 3-0 going into the 7th inning. The Mariners had 1 on, 1 out, and Robinson Cano launched a home run inside the right field foul pole to make it 5-0. And then 3 batters later, Adam Lind hit a 3-run home run to make it 8-0. And then Brett Eibner homered for the Royals in the bottom of the 7th. Morales fields, Wong covers, 2 down. Smith goes to second base. And now pinch hitter for Seattle. Nelson Cruz is the scheduled hitter. It'll be Daniel Robertson batting with a runner at second base and 2 down. Number 99, Daniel Robertson.
Yeah, I noticed that the other day when he was playing. He must have requested that.
Turk Wendell, was he a number 99? Do you remember him?
I do. He was the guy that used to brush his teeth in between innings.
Right.
And then he hopped over the line, couldn't touch the line. Look at that. He's got him a pinch hit knock.
They're going to hold Smith at third.
But you know, whenever you see a guy with 99, sometimes he wants the number 9. And you know, you can't get it. And no wonder if he does want number 9, his manager Scott Service is wearing 9. So some guys will say, all right, give me the other 9. I want 99.
Or they'll take 2 numbers that add up to 9.
Good.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Turk Wendell, I remember, was so, and I hope I'm getting the details correct, he was so infatuated with 99 that even down to his salary. I remember once he was hoping for $2 million from one of his teams, but he said he'd settle for $1,999,000 and 99 cents.
Oh, that's not good.
Stories you tell in an 8-1 game. Royals baseball is brought to you by Dodge. Find your summer of performance with great deals at the Dodge Summer Clearance Event. 1 run for the Royals on 6 hits. Most of that against Mike Montgomery, who went 6 1/3 innings. And Seattle with home runs from Robinson Cano and Adam Lind to pull away with a 5-run 7th inning. And now Christian Colon, who took over for Alcides Escobar in the top of the 8th, will lead off the bottom of the 8th inning. Colon is 0 for 4 in this series. Into the left field corner, just foul. You know, CC doesn't have his first big league home run yet. This is David Rollins coming on for just the 5th time. Marte fields it short, and Colon is out number 1. David Rollins. Very few players in professional baseball history can claim what David Rollins can claim.
What's that?
He has been drafted 4 different times.
Wow.
So you would have to be drafted out of high school, go to a junior college, get drafted 3 years in a row.
Wow.
Right?
Well, never really thought about that, but
if you go to a major university, you're not eligible until after your junior season.
Right.
But he was drafted by the Dodgers out of high school. The Mariners have been keeping an eye on him because they drafted him twice out of junior college. And then finally he signed with the Toronto Blue Jays. And then still ended up in the Mariners organization. You ever heard of a guy being drafted 4 times?
I don't think I have. Well, the money must not have been that good out of high school.
19th round out of high school.
Yeah, that's not
23rd round.
No.
46th round, which doesn't exist anymore. And then he finally signed in the 24th round with the Blue Jays.
Well, give him some credit for his determination. The fact that he's here and he's a big league pitcher.
Tributera with a base hit to right field. He's 1 for 3.
Fastball in the inner half. Drew, good head position, kept his hands through it, went to right field. That's a big league knock.
But Merrifield is 1 for 3. He could easily be 2 for 3. Lost a hit on maybe the best defensive play, or one of the best defensive plays of the game today. A diving stop by Seager in the 1st inning. Probably the best defensive play was the one by Marte on Escobar in the 3rd inning. But Marte and Seager on the left side of that Mariners infield today has provided plenty of highlights for the sportscast in Seattle tonight.
I'll say. Talked about his brother a lot in this series because they're both big leaguers and both extremely talented, and both on the left side of the infield. But he's going into the home run derby on Monday night, tomorrow night, against Mark Trumbo. His brother is, and Trumbo has experience in the derby. His brother Corey Seager does not, and as many swings as those guys take, I mean, that's exhausting. Thankfully, the weather out in San Diego won't be stifling humidity, so they're going to catch a break.
You can follow the Royals live on your phone and tablet with the MLB.com at-bat app. Stay up to the moment with Game Day, video highlights, StatCast, bilingual access, split views, radio broadcast, news, and more. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Download MLB.com at-bat, the #1 app for live baseball. on your phone and tablet. Two on, one out. Salvador Perez, who's the Royals DH today. Outside for ball one. Salvi is 1 for 3 with a single to left field in the 4th inning. He has Butera at second, Merrifield at first. Salvi already has 2 home runs in this series. Both of them late in games. One in the 7th inning, one in the 9th inning. And he has a walk-off double in this series. Just outside of third base. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Salvador Perez's average is .281. He's got 14 home runs. You'd like to round off those numbers as the world will be watching on Tuesday night. How about keeping your average above .280 and maybe your 15th? Round off those numbers. They're already respectable and the best in the league for any catcher in the American League.
Well, if he hits his 15th, that would tie last year. He had 15 home runs before the All-Star break.
He's going to have to get Rollins to cooperate. How about challenge him?
How about a base hit into right field? Butera will be held at third. Perfect throw on one hop from the right fielder Robertson, and the bases are loaded with 1 out, and Kendrys Morales coming up.
Yeah, nice swing by Salvi, not trying to do too much. He didn't care about that 1 extra homer, but he wants his average over .280 to go into that All-Star break, and there it is. Beautiful swing, man. Salvi's back on.
Breaking ball down and away. Morales is 2 for 5 with the bases loaded this year, and he hits .373 in his career. Two balls, no strikes. Three and 0. Eibner is next.
Young man David Rollins putting himself in a little hot water here. Scorching afternoon.
A 4-pitch walk with the bases loaded. It is 8-2. And that'll be it for Rollins. So he got Christian Colon on a ground ball to short. Good start to the inning, but Butera singled, Merrifield walked, Perez singled, and Morales walked. So 2 walks allowed by Rollins in what was a 7-run game. And now Joaquin Benoit comes on to face Brett Eibner. has already homered today. He is 2 for 3. The Royals were scoreless for 6 1/3 innings when Eibner finally broke through against Mike Montgomery, and that was the last man that Montgomery faced. The Royals have added a run in the bottom of the 8th inning. They're down by 6. Eibner will bat with the bases loaded against the veteran Joaquin Benoit.
All right, Benoit's still good, and you're right, he's been around a long time. He's good on lefties and righties. Sinking fastball, slider, a great changeup. His velocity is still 90 to 95. He's good. His changeup, he'll throw it in any fastball count too. Wouldn't be surprised if he threw it first pitch here.
High strike, 0-1 on Brett Eibner. Benoit appeared on Friday night in the Mariners' Game 2 victory in this series, 2/3 of an inning. He did not face Eibner. Plays off the slider. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And that first one at 93 down the middle, that's the one. Eibner wants to see that again. Bases loaded lots of times. Strike 1, that's the best one to swing at. It's usually the best pitch.
Center field sinking, and it's down for a base hit. Mariners trying for a force at second base. They didn't get it. So Eibner drives in a run. It is 8-3, and the tying run is on deck.
This is the 8th inning. I mean, Royals got another shot even after this inning. So get all you can here. Look for that heater. Eibner got in on his hands a little bit, but still dropped it in plenty of time there. Good thing Morales was hustling, getting to second base. They almost got him on the force.
Cheslor Cuthbert. He's 1 for 3 today with a double, and he's also lost a hit on a play at third by Seager. Cuthbert goes after the first pitch. Looked like a slider, and he fouls it away.
These Royal fans are hanging around, Ryan, and they know why. Because the Royals, until you get the final out, they're in every single home game.
Center field, caught by Martin. Perez comes down from third, and it's 8-4. It used to be a big inning was defined by scoring 3 runs or more in 1 inning. The Royals have 3 here in the 8th inning. It's only the second time in this 4-game series that they've had a so-called big inning. And on both occasions, it was only 3. And the big item for the Mariners this entire series has been ground ball double plays. And the Royals have avoided it in this inning. And now 2 on, 2 out for Paulo Orlando, the 8th man to come up in the inning. Way upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. The Mariners' big inning today was a 5-run inning, a 5-run 7th. Fastball at 94. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Want to know why the Royals fans don't go home late in games and the Royals are down? Because look at that run differential in the 8th inning or later. plus 38 more than their opponents.
Got him to chase one up and out of the strike zone. Tough day for Paulo so far. Against Montgomery, he grounded into a double play and struck out. And then against Diaz in the 7th inning, he struck out. Robertson looking into the sun and makes a play to end the inning. So the Royals get 3. It is now 8-4, Seattle leading at the end of 8. The Royals were down 8-0. They got 1 in the 7th, 3 in the 8th. Today's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Club. Ryan Lefevre, Rex Hudler with Joe Goldberg. And that's Chris Young pitching out of the bullpen. Moved from the rotation to the pen. He has made 2 relief appearances this year. That was after he came off of the disabled list, and after those 2 appearances was put back in the rotation. Dylan G made the start today in what would have been Chris Young's spot. And now it's Young coming on in the 9th inning, trying to keep the game right here at 8-4. He'll get Adam Lynn, Chris Iannetta, who's getting a little swig of Gatorade, and then Leonis Martin.
Well, Chris Young is a serviceable member of that bullpen, and he can be, especially with his strikeouts this year have been really good. 64 strikeouts in 60 innings. Fastball, slider. He can be effective in 1-inning stints, but they'll probably just leave him there for a while in case they need him later, and you never know. If he can find it and get it going again, he could be a serviceable part, I'm telling you. But it's been real rough going for him.
Into left field, Alex Gordon is there to take care of Adam Lynn. He had a 3-run home run in the biggest inning today. That was Seattle's 5-run 7th. It's a small sample size, but with Chris Young in the bullpen now, we should point out that his 2 relief appearances this year resulted in 4 scoreless innings.
All right, there he goes. Hopefully he can go into the break with some confidence after this inning. But you know, Ryan, every Major League Baseball team that I got to play for, there was very few meetings on teams, and you don't have to have managers meetings, but there was always one. You could always guarantee on one, and that was the manager. After today, before the All-Star break, he would always get the guys together and say, hey, look, you got 4 days. Everybody's going all over the country. Just want to remind you, you're responsible for the team you're playing for. Okay, you owe the organization. So therefore, be careful what you do. Watch what you do and make sure that you're accountable. And come back safely here. Be responsible. Don't go out and get burned on the lake. Don't get on any skis. Don't do something foolish that you could cost not just yourself, but the rest of your team and our organization a chance to win. And they were always firm and well delivered. Now, I don't know if Ned does that or not, but most managers I played for always reminded us, and you remember, they're young guys in there. They're not, they're not the most mature guys. They're all kids. So you got to remind them of those things. I think it's important.
Iannetta strikes out. 2 down in the 9th inning. Well, Ned's most famous speech at the All-Star break since becoming Royals manager was 2013. And the Royals had a very rocky first half. They lost the last 5 games going into the All-Star break. And the players were ready to get chewed out. They didn't play well in Cleveland. And Ned basically said, we're going to get them in the second half. Echoing what you said, be safe, take care of yourselves, relax, because we're going to get this thing going in the second half. And the Royals got hot in the second half, and they were not eliminated from playoff contention until game number 158 or 159, but they finished 10 games above 500 that year, and that kind of set the stage for 2014, which set the stage for 2015.
Well, this day is a great opportunity for any field general like Ned to inspire his team, no matter where you are in the standings. Come on, Young. There you go. Struck out 2 out of 3.
Step in the right direction,
I'll say.
So he gets his defense off the field very quickly, and they'll grab their bats in the bottom of the 9th, down by 4. With a 4-run lead in the bottom of the 9th inning. Game 1 on Thursday. Cishek pitching with a 1-run lead, gave up a leadoff double to Whit Merrifield. Then he hit Kendrys Morales. Gerard Dyson ran for Morales, and Salvador Perez hit the walk-off double. The next night, Cishek got the save on Friday, but not before giving up a home run to Salvador Perez. He did not appear in last night's game. And now he takes the mound today with a 4-run lead.
See that little piece of paper he took out of his back pocket, looked at it, looked like the scouting report. Haven't seen that.
Alex Gordon, deep right field corner, hooking, fair ball, and a 3-run game. Alex Gordon has doubled and homered today.
How about that, Alex Gordon? He looked in his first hit of the day off of Montgomery with that ball he hit off the wall in center, and then several of his other at-bats today. He's looked really good, shortening up his swing, and now he hits a homer. What a good sign for him going into the second half. Bottle that up, Alex. Ball club can use that.
Strike to Colon. Christian pinch hit for Alcides Escobar in the bottom of the 8th inning, grounded out to short. 2 balls and 1 strike. Three and 1. Drew Butera's on deck.
Sinker, slider, changeup are those pitches that he tries to execute. He's got a good slider, especially when he's on. He puts it away to the righty.
And Colon, realizing how tough he is on right-hand batters, going to make him throw 2 strikes in a row. He walked him.
You could tell by Cishek after he delivered that pitch, as he didn't exactly have a tin cup, was begging, but he wanted that strike. So that is a visual body language sign for a hitter that tells the hitter that he's begging and he's in trouble. Trying to nibble on the corners can get you in trouble. You try to be too fine.
And now outside to Drew Butera. Now Ned Yost has Gerard Dyson and Eric Hosmer on his bench, left-hand batters. Drew Butera catching today. Salvador Perez is the DH. There's a slider for a strike, 1-1. One ball, 2 strikes. So if you pinch hit for Butera here, if we see the 10th inning, Salvador Perez goes behind the plate and the Royals lose their designated hitter, but you may never see the 10th inning.
That's
Butera
right.
fights it off, still 1-2. Two balls, 2 strikes.
Royals have been walking them off like there's no tomorrow this season. They already have 6. Never know. We showed you the run differential what the Royals have from the 8th inning on. Best in baseball.
Checked his swing.
No, he didn't.
Swing. 3-2. And if Butera reaches, the Royals will have the tying run at the plate with nobody out.
And Rusty Kuntz just told Colon 3-2, don't go.
He did not make contact. So you got maybe the most hittable pitch of that at bat after all those sliders. Cishek gets a strikeout, and the tying run remains in the on deck circle. So 1-on-1 out to Merrifield, and Witt, remember on Thursday night, he started the rally in the 9th inning against Cishek with a double. Slider for strike one. Martin coming up in center field. 2 down. And the tying run remains on deck. Coming up after the game, Boulevard Royals Live with Joel. Salvador Perez, in 2 at-bats against Cishek in this series, has a walk-off double and a solo home run. Slider is outside.
Walk-off double was impressive. It went to right center, and just at the base of the wall here at the K. It ball was crushed.
2-0. Trying to get Morales to the plate. Royals were down 8-0 going into the bottom of the 7th inning. 2-1. Royals got 1 in the 7th on an Eibner home run, 3 in the 8th. RBIs from Morales, Eibner, and Cuthbert, and 1 here in the 9th on a home run by Gordon. Borderline pitch, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Just the way Salvi's taking pitches looks extremely comfortable. You can tell when a guy's in a groove. Cishek wants to keep the ball down in the worst way. He's going to use sinker sliders to try to do it.
Way outside. So here we go. Cishek gets Perez. The game is over. Perez gets Cishek. The tying run comes to the plate. Struck him out. So Perez got Cishek the first 2 times they met in the series, but the series ends with Cishek striking out Salvador Perez. The Mariners and Royals split the 4-game series, and Seattle wins the season series 4-3. Royals made it interesting, but Seattle wins it 8-5. We'll be right back.